Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a video talking about my mental illness book recommendations number 5. Total of 5 books here to show you, so let's jump right into those. And if you haven't checked out my previous 4 videos revolving book recommendations for mental illness books, definitely check those out if you're interested, but let's go. First up here I have When Jack by Joseph Boyden. This book deals with residential schools as well as abuse and things along those lines, so please keep that in mind before picking this book up. This is about a young Ojibwe boy who runs away from a North Ontario residential school, and it's about his experience at the residential school and his journey getting away from it, and he encounters like different animals along his journey and they kind of tell from their point of view what's happening with him as well. So you're getting a lot of different perspectives and it's just a really interesting story, and I definitely recommend it. It's really heartbreaking and it was done absolutely beautifully, so definitely check this out if you're interested. It is Morphine by Mikhail Bulgakov, which this is a Russian author and it was translated into English. This book does have trigger warnings for substance abuse, so keep that in mind before picking this book up. In my Goodreads review of this book, when I read it back in September, I kind of explained it in a way that I really like, so I'm just gonna read off that for now. But basically, the story is about 2 doctors. The man we follow who moves to a small town to work at a clinic. As he's there working, he gets a letter from a friend from med school asking him for help for he has fallen ill. The doctor is planning on helping out his friend, then he arrives in his clinic near death. Before he passes away, he gives the doctor a journal about his medical struggles, him dealing with his addiction to morphine. So basically this is a journal that another doctor is reading about his addiction to morphine, and I thought, again here, I thought the way addiction was portrayed and told was so great and made it sound so real, and that that not only does your mind want it, but your body grows to need it. This was very short but really thought-provoking, and yeah, I really enjoyed this book. This was great. I just like the way I said that in my review. That's why I wanted to read it off. But a quote from this book that I found really interesting was, "Clever people have been pointing out for a long time that happiness is like good health. When it's there, you don't notice it, but years have passed, and oh, how you remember it." Next up here, I have a book that I read back in January. These 3 books I read in January, and they're gonna be competitors for my favorites of the year, absolutely. First up here, we have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, which deals with a boy named Julian and another boy, and they used to be foster brothers way back when, and they have gone without contact for years until Adam is assigned basically to keep an eye on Julian and to bring him to the school psychologist. They meet again, and it's about their friendship, and this is about Julian's struggles, and it deals with abuse and depression and suicide, so keep that in mind before picking this up. I believe it dealt with suicide if I'm not mistaken. I read it a few months ago, but this book was just absolutely amazing. I thought the writing was great. The portrayal of friendship was absolutely beautiful. The backstory was like heart-shattering. It was so wonderful, and I would highly recommend picking it up if you haven't already. Next up here we have We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson, which is a book that I absolutely love. I've done a whole review video on this book, so I'll definitely link that up on the screen for those who are interested in checking that out, but I go into a lot better in that video, so definitely check that out. But this book is basically a boy who gets abducted by aliens on, like, it's like a contemporary with a hint of sci-fi in there. He gets abducted by aliens all the time, and during his abductions, the aliens ask him, do you want to click this button to end the world? So do you think the world is worth saving? And it's just something he thinks about all the time, and it's about his relationship with the boy, and it's about his coming of age story and his thoughts on life, and it deals with a lot of important issues. And it also deals with him and his boyfriend who committed suicide last year. And on the inside cover of this book, I did do kind of like a defacing sort of thing in it, but basically there's a bunch of quotes, and one of the quotes that I really liked was, you have to be willing to discover yourself first, which I just thought was yes. And also when they were discussing depression in this book, they said it's a battle you fight every single day. So this book is amazing. I would highly recommend this. This is probably my top recommendation out of this pile, so definitely check this out. And yeah, I hope those of you who pick it up enjoy it, because it's really wonderful. So yeah. And last but certainly not least, I have If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. A girl named Amanda who has just gone through her transition. It's about her kind of going through that, going to a new school, and people worrying that people are going to find out that she was born male. essentially, and it's just such an amazing book. I loved it so much. I've never read about someone who's transgender before, and I just found it so important to read about, and I just really enjoyed like my time reading this. It was actually just a beautifully told story, and I absolutely loved following Amanda. At times it was very difficult, of course, but I learned so much about people who are transgender, and I would love to read more about more books like that. And this book was really impactful, so definitely check this out if you haven't already. So there you guys have it. These are my mental illness book recommendations, number 5, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you want me to continue doing these videos, please let me know down below, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye!